Cling to the thought that in God's hands, the dark past is the greatest possession you have, the key to life and happiness for others. With it, you can avert death and misery for them.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the beach. It's a beautiful morning. What a life I have. What an incredible life. It's funny because when I first came into recovery, I'd hear people talking about how grateful they were and how wonderful their life was. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't like hearing that stuff because my life was not very good. In fact, it just sounded to me like they were bragging, you know? Like, dude, shut up. I don't want to hear that. I'll tell you, by the time you get here, though, it's what you talk about. Gratitude, you know? Gratitude for the life that I have. I can't just shut up about that. I have to talk about it. That's not necessarily what I want to talk about today, gratitude, but it's always a great topic. Always. You can never go wrong by focusing on gratitude. And I am grateful, no doubt about it. I was at a meeting last night, and the topic was forgiveness. And we do some forgiving by going through the steps. We forgive those people that we have resentments towards, people, places, and things, right? We forgive them. The issue that I've seen in the past, not only with myself, but with others as well, is self-forgiveness. I'm my own worst critic. You know, I finally get my life straightened out, and then I look back at my past behaviors, the way that I treated people that I love and care about. Man, I am down on myself at that point. I'm like, Earl, what a piece of trash you are. You know, and that self-talk like that, it's not good for you either. But I really was self-loathing at that point in my life. It takes what it takes to find self-forgiveness, especially when you've done as much as I have, you know. And I guess we could all say that at some point we get to that area of our lives where we've forgiven others, but we have yet to forgive ourselves. I've seen it time and time again. It's not a good place to be. Self-forgiveness is at least as important, if not even more important, than forgiving others. You know, hanging on to resentments, that's not good. In fact, resentment is the number one offender. I think it's time to let go of the resentments, even those resentments I have towards myself. No need to hang on to those. So how do I find self-forgiveness? Does it come easily? Most times not. Most times we're the last ones we're willing to forgive. I'm a Christian. I was raised a Christian. I still believe that way. But one of the things that was pointed out to me was that, do you believe that God forgives you? Well, yeah, I believe God forgives me. And are your standards higher than God's? If God forgives you, why can't you forgive you? Something to think about. One of the reasons to forgive is to get rid of those resentments towards us. But how, right? That's the big question. How? How do I forgive myself? Well, one way is a living amends. That living amends is basically just living a different way. Living in a way that I can be proud of, living in a way that I'm not ashamed of. What happens is through time, I find forgiveness for the guy that I used to be. I don't need to forgive the guy that I am today. I need to forgive the guy that I used to be before sobriety, before recovery, before this drastic change in who I am and how I treat the world around me. I guess forgiveness is never totally complete, at least with self. I look back on those dark days of my life, and there's a part of me that wishes they hadn't happened, but I also see the value in them. I also see the value. Page 124, it says, cling to the thought that in God's hands, the dark past is the greatest possession you have, the key to life and happiness for others. With it, you can avert death and misery for them. So it says, cling to the thought that in God's hands, your dark past is the greatest possession you have. That tells me, hand it to God. Put it in God's hands. That dark past, put it in God's hands. It's the greatest possession you have. That way you can forgive the person that you used to be and be able to help others with the experience that you've had in the past. Forgiveness is key, folks. You need to find forgiveness in your heart. It'll help you to live happy, joyous, and free. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye.